Okay, so now moving on to part 2. You just prepared your forms for your buyer, and now you're waiting on them to sign, or maybe they have signed. So here, let me go back. Let me go to Forms Home. You'll see here that I've got my file that we just created. It shows the one form, and if you click on this, you would fill it out again. It is available to fill out again when it's on this page. But if you go here to envelopes, this just shows, okay, this is what is currently outstanding. An envelope is kind of we'll call it a package. It's where you've started something and it's kind of living there, and it gives you a status just depending on where things stand. So I'm on my phone right now, and I'm going to sign this document that I just sent for the buyer agreement. We'll go ahead and finish signing that. Okay, so now it has been signed, and you will receive an email once somebody has signed a document. So let me try to refresh this here. You'll see that that went from waiting to sign to show that it's been signed one by one. If you do click on these 3 dots, you could either resend it, you can correct it if needed to, or sometimes if you just want to make sure everything looks okay, you can view it, you can download it, etc. But you don't need to do that. This is automatically going to go into another document. So now you have your signed buyer agreement. Your next step is we're going to go back to our apps, and now we're going to go into SkySlope, which again, I called earlier transactions because I think that's just easier when explaining the system since it's all kind of called SkySlope. So here's my SkySlope window. I am going to create new. We're going to do a new transaction because it's a buyer, but if it's a listing agreement, you would do new listing. So now we're going to create a new folder here. We're going to say that we're representing a purchase because we have a buyer. And I'm going to call it pre-contract because we don't have a purchase agreement yet, but I always do this out of habit to get it started. Now you'll see that the system has automatically synced with my forms and shows this file already. So that's why it's important to do forms first, is because it's automatically going to bring this information in. You don't have to duplicate the work. So we're going to click here on Fox, and I'm going to hit continue. It's going to load here, and it's going to pre-fill some information so that we don't have to. It's going to pre-fill Indiana. It's going to ask for a checklist, which again, we're doing a buyer only. So this is the residential sales list, residential sale list. You can take a minute to view those later to see. My information is already here. It is going to always ask for a phone number, so you will need to fill that in, otherwise it won't let you advance. So put my phone number in there, and I'm going to hit continue. And you're just going to go through here and fill out all these fields. So no, I'm not using a transaction coordinator. It's going to complete the details. If you have a purchase agreement already or a pending contract or a listing, it is going to ask you for a lot more information up front. But again, I'm just using this buyer one as an example for today's training. Okay, so now it's here, and it shows here that this document is required for eXp compliance. The great thing is, because it's already syncing to forms, and you can see that here in this button says link to forms, it's already pulled my documents in for me. And because they're already signed, it's already showing me that. You can click here to view the document to double check that it's signed. I do that often just to make sure I'm attaching the right one. But all you need to do is click on the document of choice, and you're going to hit assign. And then you're going to go to buyer exclusive agency agreement, and you're going to hit assign. Now, if I go back to my checklist, you will see that went from red to yellow. And once it's approved by eXp, it'll go green. And eXp is automatically going to approve those anytime you make those changes. You are welcome to move documents around as you need. Sometimes I have things that I throw in the trash. Maybe it's the unsigned copy of something. Oops. Give me just a moment. It's the unsigned copy of something. And so I'm going to click move, and I might hit trash if it's the wrong version of that document that hasn't been fully signed yet. So that's how SkySlope works. That's the checklist. And that's how you're going to integrate the two. So you're never really going to go into DocuSign by itself. It's always going to go from forms. It'll automatically translate to DocuSign. And then you do need to come into SkySlope, or I'm going to call it transactions, to set up your new transaction detail folder like this, which is what then in turn goes into eXp compliance. If you have any other questions, let me know.